What's up, guys? This is Jensen and welcome to another video. So I can't stop thinking about the crazy football news we heard today. DeAndre Hopkins headed to Arizona, and this truly shows why the Texans are an absolute clown franchise. They're a pathetic franchise. They're terrible, and they disgust football fans all over the world right now, in my opinion, what they're doing right now. They're giving Deshaun Watson no help. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm looking at this trade, I can't even explain why the Texans would do such a thing. When you look at DeAndre Hopkins, he's a top 3 wide receiver in the game. He doesn't cause any locker room issues. He's represented Houston so well. This is a great teammate. This dude, he does nothing but produce. He just shuts up and balls, and he puts the production on the field. And he's never really injured. He's always on the field. And when we look at what the Texans got back for him, they got back David Johnson, and I like David Johnson, but when you watch him last year, you could clearly see that he was injured. We don't know if we're going to get the same type of David Johnson back. It looked like he had a piano on his back when he was running last year. You could clearly see his agility, his ability to move, his top-end speed. It was all affected last year. So this is not a very wise move for the Texans. They got a second-round pick. That's all they get back. They don't get a first-round pick. A second-round pick? Really? I mean, at least if we had a first-round pick, we can kind of validify this because the Cardinals' first-round pick is pretty high up there. But when we're looking at a second-round pick, what are they going to be able to do? As a lot of draft analysts know, second-round pick really means a 50-50 chance at a starter. So to get a second-round pick for a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, who's been such an elite producer all these years, it's almost inexcusable. But let's look deeper into the facts. Why did the Texans have to deal DeAndre Hopkins? It's because they traded for Laremy Tunsil, whom they traded away 2 first-round picks for. And I knew that was an overpay at the time, because even though we knew Laremy Tunsil was a stud, to give up 2 first-round picks for a guy like that, I knew it was a little too high. And now look at where they are. They had to give Laremy Tunsil a big-time deal because they traded away 2 first-round picks for him. So now they had to get rid of DeAndre Hopkins as a result. But why they had to trade for Laremy Tunsil? Let's look even deeper. Remember, a couple years ago, they dealt away their left tackle, Dwayne Brown, to the Seattle Seahawks. Even though everyone knew this Texans offensive line was terrible, and we all knew Dwayne Brown, even though he was getting a little older, we knew this dude was a stud. They trade him away to Seattle, so all of a sudden, you have a hole at left tackle, which they weren't able to fix for a couple of years. This is the pathetic franchise as the Houston Texans. They have time and time again mismanaged the cap, and this is one of the biggest examples. This is probably the biggest L in Texans history. This is a team that traded away Jadeveon Clowney. We all remember how good this dude was. I thought it was a terrible trade. They got virtually nothing. And we saw last year what a study was, how much of an impact he had on Seattle. The way he could stop the run. This dude's one of the best defenders in the game. Even though he has injury issues at times, still we knew how talented this dude was. You traded him away to Seattle for nothing. This is a team that signed Kaimi Fairburn to a 4-year, $16.75 million contract even though he is only about 21st in the NFL in field goal percentage. You don't pay a below average kicker like that top end bucks. So we've seen multiple times, time and time again, the Houston Texans, how dysfunctional they are. What a terrible franchise they are. Don't even get me started on Brock Osweiler paying that scrub 4 years, $72 million. Oh, please. This franchise, they're a disgrace to the NFL. It's only because of Deshaun Watson that they're relevant. And when we look at this team, even when we're not talking about players, we're talking about how they couldn't even get a GM. Their attempt to get Nick Caserio from the Patriots, it failed miserably. It created a whole bunch of problems. And then they rolled Bill O'Brien as head coach and GM. Now, as we all know, Bill O'Brien is no Belichick, and Bill O'Brien is clearly proven incapable, both as a coach and as a GM, to handle the business as the Houston Texans GM and coach. When we've seen him as a coach, he clearly struggles with the X and O's, clearly struggles with time management, as we saw in the playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But also as a GM, we've seen time and time again him making questionable moves. If I'm Deshaun Watson and all this craziness is happening around me, and I'm the Houston Texans quarterback right now, I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm heading into my prime, I'm a young QB, but I've also suffered some serious injuries, and I've taken a beating from this Houston Texans O-line because they haven't really protected me over the past couple years. Why would I stay in Houston? Why? And if I'm a Houston Texans fan right now, which I'm not, I'm a Bears fan, but if I'm a Texans fan right now, I would 100% understand why Deshaun Watson would want to get out of Houston right now. I think Deshaun Watson should demand a trade. I think that if you're the Texans, you don't really want an unhappy franchise quarterback, which I presume Deshaun Watson would be right now. after you deal away one of his favorite targets, DeAndre Hopkins, a guy whom they have a lot of chemistry together. You can clearly see they gel together on the field. They get along off the field. So if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm asking for a trade out of Houston. If you're the Texans, you could probably get at least 3 first-round picks, I would think. And I think a logical destination at this point for Deshaun Watson would be the Miami Dolphins. As we all know, they have 3 first-round picks coming in this upcoming draft. But they also have Josh Rosen, who could be a potential future franchise quarterback for a team. So if I'm the Texans, I would consider offering Deshaun Watson and try and get back 3 first-round picks and Josh Rosen. If I'm the Dolphins, this makes a ton of sense because, obviously you like Tua if you're the Dolphins. Tua's a special dude, but we know he has a ton of injury issues. If you can get a bona fide stud like Deshaun Watson instead of drafting an injury risk that is Tua Tagovailoa, I think the Dolphins should do it. It looks like the Dolphins are building something nice. I like Brian Flores as head coach. I like Chris Greer, what he's doing as GM. I think this makes sense for all sides involved because if you're the Texans, not only are you getting Josh Rosen, a pro-style quarterback who could be a potential franchise quarterback, but you're also getting the number 5 overall pick. What if you can get a dude like Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson? This dude looks like a future star on defense. You can get multiple pieces that you could use to fix this roster, and then you could fire Bill O'Brien, get a new head coach, get a new GM. I think that this could work out for all sides. So if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm demanding a trade out of Houston right now because the Texans have clearly proven that they are incompetent and they can't surround Deshaun Watson with legit talent. That's just where I'm at right now. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll be providing you more NFL and NBA hot takes as the season goes on. Have a good day. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports, as I'll be keeping track with this NFL free agency. See y'all later.